Hey guys, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're enjoying what is left of summertime. It surely is dwindling. I know a lot of school districts have gone back. We have a couple more weeks to go. We typically don't go back till after Labor Day. So we are enjoying certainly the last thrills of the summertime. But with that comes disaster. And we have a lot of ongoing projects happening right now in our home, and it is very difficult to stay on top of all of the dust that comes with it and all of the mess that comes with it. So I wanted to conquer some things today that I knew wouldn't really be affected by what's going on in the house with the construction and our makeovers and the kids' rooms. And I knew my laundry room was a good start. Needed a really good clean out. Then I really wanted to focus on not the entire kitchen, but I did want to get my stovetop. I've let it go. Like, when you get to the point where you clean it and then you're trying to keep up with it because you just cleaned it, and then you're like, forget it. And you're just like, you're letting it just get dirtier and dirtier and dirtier. Well, I've been doing that for a while now, and it was time. So I am going to be doing a oven clean out as well as my stovetop. And with that brought the sink. I wanted to get a good scrub in my sink, and then I just wanted to give a little wipe down of my countertops and some of the surfaces in there. Like I said, we just have a lot going on. We're redoing our basement, it is the basement, so it's not obviously the first floor, but still, for some reason, dust just travels everywhere. So we just have layers of dust everywhere, and everyone's not been the best about the shoes on, shoes off thing. So, and that's okay. That's to be expected when you have construction and stuff in the house. So just to say, there's just a lot of messes that having to be constantly cleaned up, and I felt like I was falling behind. But I did want to conquer some things that I knew could possibly stand the test of being clean, at least for an hour or so. So I'm starting off, of course, with laundry. I'm in the laundry room, so of course, that just goes without saying. So I wanted to get a load in, that way I could start cleaning and having the washer and the dryer do some of the cleaning as well at the same time. And we had a lot of stuff in here. My son recently started football, which is newer to us. My oldest dabbled in it a little bit when he was young, but didn't stick with it. And now my 9-year-old here, he is into it and loving it. So we have added football gear to the mix. So we just have a lot of stuff everywhere. We have our bins here, our shoe bins, that I knew I wanted to do before we do go back to school. I wanted to go through their shoes and see what fits and what doesn't fit. And because I knew these things, I had unnecessary shoes in them, shoes that the kids just don't grab for anymore. So he helped me for a little bit, and we went through these shoes. We had a big bag of donation, which was great because our football team is collecting donations. So that was wonderful. So we filled, and it's by the pound. So shoes are weighty. So we were able to donate a lot there. Then we had a couple blankets in here too that I was able to get rid of, but I needed to go through these shoe bins. And with the shoe bins, we try to do like their sneaker bins. I try to do this one. I try to do like a nicer quote unquote shoe, like their slip-on shoes. They're not dress shoes, but just shoes that they don't usually grab unless we're doing something where they actually don't have like sports clothes on, which is very rare. But so there was quite a few pairs in here that were way too small for my youngest, or just didn't match up with the sizing of where the kids were at now. So it felt really good to get these gone through and cleaned out, and I was excited to be able to say I have that accomplished before school starts. 3 out of my 4 kids this summer did camps that required them to bring stuff. 2 of them, my 2 youngest boys, did like an extended school year camp, so they had book bags. And my daughter did a theater camp, so she brought this book bag too. So we've had book bags hanging up here pretty much through the summer. But now that those were over with and these were not book bags that we were going to be reusing, I wanted to get them just down. And I knew that the one in the back, the black one, was my oldest. That one was not going to make it. That one had to be tossed. It couldn't even be donated. There were zippers that were broken and holes in it. I mean, from the amount of stuff that these kids have to hold in their book bags, I'm shocked that it even has any bottom left. But look, and it's not even school and it's still got a ton of stuff in it. But just wanted to get whatever I knew I was going to be getting rid of, get that off of there, and wanted to get these countertops cleaned off and get everything put away. It was just a mishmash. I've been doing a lot of painting, a lot of wood projects. We're currently redoing my daughter's room, so we've been in and out with the spray paint and the regular paint and sandpaper and all that stuff. So I wanted to get this stuff cleared off. And I also recently just repurposed a Goodwill basket. It's actually a stair basket that I found and I was super excited about. And I stained a little bit of a darker color, and I just wanted to give it a quick coat of that poly before I put it away. So I was able to get that done. And then these I keep on top of the counter here in the laundry room, and it's kind of just a mishmash of stuff. And I actually had a change jar right there that I used to keep change in, and it just broke. I guess maybe sometimes these things fall over when the kids try to go grab it, so that may have been the end of the change jar. But I was glad I put my hand in here before somebody else did, so I was able to get these cleaned out and kind of sorted through. It's kind of just a catch-all for when everybody walks in. And I had never changed. The only summer seasonal decoration I had left was my little magnet guy, my little flag that I'll show you in a second. And this is going to be my first fall decoration, is up here now, my little leaf. And it's cute because there's seasonal things and there's holiday things too. I think I had gotten that off Amazon years ago. So I just switched that and I keep those in here. That way I never forget where I put them, because I am notoriously known for doing that. And I was happy to get these counters wiped down. There was like a nice film of dust in here. Although we're not really walking with the construction stuff through here, we've been trying to get a lot of garbage out of the house. We've been getting rid of some older furniture that we no longer need. And a lot of it's been coming in and out of here, and and just this place gets the brunt of it all since it's used for so many different things. But the sink had a ton of paint in it from all those projects that we've been doing in my daughter's room. So I was really happy to be able to get this cleaned out. while I was cleaning this day, I believe that this was Friday. Um, I knew I wasn't feeling well. I definitely was feeling a little off. My kids, it was been a rough summer with sicknesses. My kids kind of had just like low grade fever thing on, and they each got it separately. So it was like over the course of a whole month, and it was just annoying. I ended up bringing my daughter to the doctor once, and for no other, my favorite word, it's all viral. So it was nothing, but it was like the whole summer. And then I was feeling a little bit off. And funny enough, over the weekend, I ended up going to the doctor and I ended up having pneumonia, which was crazy. I don't think I've ever had pneumonia before. But I am glad that I knew my body enough to know that something was off, and that I went. And now I'm feeling so much better. And I actually just recently started taking the medication. So by the next few days, I should be feeling 100%. But that was a little crazy. So just a PSA, if you know your own body better than anybody else. If you're feeling a little off, you should definitely go to the doctor. And I always said before I had kids, I'll always be the mom. I'll take care of myself. I'll always make sure to put myself number one. Well, there's always a tall list of things that I am going to do and everything before I have the kids. And then after they come, everything changes. But I did make it a point in this past April to make all my doctor's appointments. And I went to I went to every doctor except for the eye doctor. I do have to get to an eye doctor, but I did do all my appointments in April, and it's very nice to know that they were all done in April. So now I know in a year from now, typically is when I have to go again. I'll know I'll have everything to schedule for next April. But anyway, I don't want to get on too much of a soapbox for that. But if you're not feeling well, definitely get yourself checked out, because if I didn't go, it would not have been ended well, or I could have ended up in the hospital. So I'm really happy that I listened to myself, and I went and got ahead and got checked out. But I'm really surprised with how much I got done today, considering the fact that I wasn't feeling 100%. But I really didn't go downhill until this night, which makes sense because I was probably putting my body through way too much than I should have, but I wasn't aware at the time. So I wanted to give this floor a really good scrub. So I always go around first with a wet paper towel, and I just kind of get under things that I know that my vac mop is not my vac mop. I don't have one of those. That my vacuum and my steam cleaner isn't going to get to. I like to do that first and get like all the dust out of under the fridge and under the washer and the dryer, because it gets so gross under there. Get what I can, obviously, without pulling everything out. But I like to give everything a good scrub, and then I vacuum the floor real quick, and wanted to give the refrigerator a wipe down. And then I go back over everything with my steam mop, and it does a really great job on these tile floors. I used to, when we first put this floor down, my husband put this floor down, I used to really be good about keeping the grout clean, because I was so happy with how it looked. I would take a toothbrush and some type of paste, like a baking soda paste of some sort, and I don't know, I used to be really good about keeping the grout clean, but now that ship has sailed, and I have not scrubbed the grout in a really long time. And that's what stinks about white grout on a floor in a laundry room. And it's funny because when we were at the tile place, I knew I wanted this particular tile, and I actually thought to myself to do black grout. And I'm kind of regretful that I didn't, because I feel like it wouldn't show up dirty so quickly. Although I know black does show dirt. I think it would be a little bit different, but I think they had talked us out of it at the time, saying that the pattern would look wonky with the black, but alas, we have white grout, and it's okay. Listen, it is what it is. I have the dog carpets down, and they keep a pretty clean job of it, but one day maybe I'll get back to scrubbing the grout, but that day is not today. I took the carpets out, and I got all the dust out of those, and I was letting them hang outside before the wash was done, so that I can throw them in the washing machine. And those carpets I have in that laundry room are really nice. They're like that, the carpets that collect the dirt. Those particular ones are geared towards like animals. So they really do. When you go outside and you shake them off, there's a ton of dirt that comes off, and they wash up really good too. So now we're up to my stove and my oven, and I'm trying this Zep cleaner for the first time. I never used it before. I saw some pretty good reviews on it, so I thought I would give it a shot. It says you have to heat your oven up to 200 degrees, and then you shut it off, and then you spray it. So I have that preheating now, and while I'm preheating the oven, I am going ahead and taking everything off the top. I am taking a paper towel and just picking up any loose crumbs, anything that may have gotten stuck under the grates. And I'm going back at it with just a sponge and just some soapy water right now. I just wanted to kind of loosen anything that might be stuck on before I go on it with the barkeeper's friend. But the oven got to 200 degrees, so it says to just spray it on. So I sprayed every bit of my oven, the racks, the side, the bottom, and the glass in the front. And you're just going to shut it. And I think it says 10 minutes, but I let it go as long as it took me to clean the stovetop. So I'm letting that sit in there now. And I just sprinkled some Barkeeper's Friend, which is usually what I use on my stovetop. It always works like a charm. And my little Dobie, my Dobie sponge. Not 100% sure how you say that. Pretty sure it's DOBE. Also works great, does not scratch anything. So you just have to keep it wet. That way you can work kind of the Barkeeper's Friend into a paste. But it does a great job. So I'm scrubbing around all the grates and this was pretty bad. There was a lot of burnt on food, a lot of stuck on stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, it's funny with my stovetop because you'll see like I'll clean it, I'll get it back to, 100%. And then I'll be good for like a week or two with trying to keep it clean. After I cook, I'll give it a wipe down. And then once you just have those evenings or whenever, mornings, when things just go awry and I don't have time to clean up after myself, or that's when like it just starts to slowly deteriorate. And and then I get to the point where I'm like, well, I'm not really going to care about cleaning it now because it has to be really scrubbed. So that's always the point where I get to, and that's where the point I was at with this particular day. But I was happy with the Barkeeper's Friend. It did a great job. It does it every time. And I just take a damp microfiber cloth and wipe it all down. It comes up no trouble, comes right off. And then I usually go back over it with a dry microfiber cloth and just make sure everything got lifted off and doesn't leave any residue. And it just looks nice and shiny clean. And just taking the burner covers and the grates and all of that and just scrubbing it with just with soapy hot water. And this is like a coiled up it's not a Brillo pad, but it's like a coiled up, I can't think of the phrase, but it's just like a wiry, and it doesn't scratch either. And it's really great. It gets all the stuck on food off, and I actually was really happy with how that worked on the grates. It was doing a really great job. And then I took these out of the oven. I had sprayed them and let them sit, and those I was going to wash up in those I am going to wash up in my sink. And I'll tell you what, this Zep stuff, it definitely worked. As you can see, just from not really doing much scrubbing or anything, it really got up a decent amount of gunk. It didn't get up like the really, really burnt on stuff. I did try to take that same little spongy thing I was just talking about and to try to see if I can get it up with it, but it didn't want to budge. So I was just happy that it really got off the surface stain. I mean, this microfiber cloth here is like literally black. So it definitely worked. I think next time I do it, I wasn't as liberal as I probably should have been, because I'll tell you what, it did smell. When you first sprayed it, I definitely should have done it on a day where like I could have opened my windows and that sort of thing, because it definitely did have a very a very potent odor to it. But so maybe that's deterred me from really laying it on there. But I think next time I'll do a thicker coat of it. But all in all, I was pretty happy with it. There was two kind of spots that I could have used a little bit more scrubbing, but other than that, it did a pretty good job, and I will definitely use it again. And I actually am really impressed more so with what came off of the grates when I washed it in the sink. Like, they actually didn't really look that dirty, but when I was scrubbing them and I had the hot water running on them, there was a ton of brown that came off of it. So you didn't really realize how dirty it was until I started cleaning it in the sink. But the stovetop's looking nice and shiny, so we're going to get everything back put on there before I scrub those oven grates in the sink. Had to have my hubby help me get one of those little knobs off there. Little bugger didn't want to come off. And this is really great. This is really the only way to clean the knobs well. I have, this one here was so gross. It really was disgusting. So this sponge thing, I wish I had a more proper term for it. It's not a Brillo pad, obviously, but it's like a stainless steel wool ball, I guess you could say. Worked like a charm and got all that gunk out of there. So I just very, very lightly went back with paper towel and tried to, anything that may have been like in it without the knobs on, I just kind of wiped out. And now I was figuring out which knob went where because I did not remember, of course. So just getting the knobs put back in, and that's, like I said, really the only good way or most effective way to clean the oven knobs is to actually remove them. So after we had the stovetop looking nice and shiny, I just wanted to go get some of the crumbs that were on the floor left over from cleaning this stove up with the vacuum, but it is looking so great, super shiny. Very happy I was able to accomplish this today. I don't think the basement's going to have any effect on the stove. Basement construction, hopefully the dust won't touch the stove. I'll be very happy if it doesn't. The grates came out really good too, and like that Zep stuff I'll definitely use again. Just gotta open the windows when I do it next time because it was a little bit stinky, but it did not leave us. Once I wiped everything out, and even when I had opened the oven, it didn't smell as bad, so it was fine. And wanted to scrub my sink too after I had everything in there and all that brown gunky funky water coming off those grates. Just gave it I used the barkeeper's friend as well in here and just giving it a scrub down, getting all that gunk off there. And I have a lot of deep cleaning to do before I start decorating for fall, so this was a good start. This really didn't have anything to do with decorating with fall preparation, but I definitely have a lot to do in order to start getting all my stuff out. I kind of want the major construction to be over in the basement before I start doing that, but hopefully that'll be this week. I like to decorate for fall. I used to decorate for fall in August, but I think this year with everything going on right now, I think I'm going to wait till September 1st. And that is my goal. That is my aim date. So you'll definitely have to stick around. I love to seasonally decorate. I love to DIY. I love to make my own decorations. I love to go out and get new decorations. I love everything. I love it all. So I'm excited to do all of that. And like I said, though, I always like to deep clean after I take down a holiday and before I put up a new holiday. So we definitely need to do that. But those are these are those are these. These are those carpets I was talking about that I gave a good shake outside, let all that dust or the majority of the dust come off, and then I got those into the washing machine. And then I wanted to go back into the kitchen, and I just wanted to kind of surface clean the countertops. This area here is an area I really don't change much. So it does get a little bit funky just from cooking nearby it. So I just wanted to kind of dismantle it, take it apart, scrub the counter, give everything a nice wipe down that gets kind of gunky from when you're cooking and food splatters and all of that. And like I said, I'm so excited to decorate for fall. It's one of my, hands down, my favorite season. But this week, now that I'm doing this voiceover, it is 70 degrees. There is no humidity. I'm at football right now, and like some of the moms have on like their poncho blankets, and I'm like, yes, I'm so excited. It's coming. It's coming. It's here, and this is my favorite. August is my favorite month, not because it's August or because of summer, but because like it's the lead in to all of it. And I'm just like, when I'm in August, I feel like there's still time, and then once September hits, it's like crazy. But it is so beautiful out right now, and it just reminds me of all the fall goodness to come. But with that comes a lot of prep work, especially with back to school, and that's another thing that I'm going to be getting on this week. Hopefully going to be sharing some of that with you. I have so much to do with the 4 kiddos. It's just a lot. It could get super overwhelming. You can definitely put a dent on the wallet, for sure. But I'm going to have to go through all their lists. I'm hopefully going to conquer that tonight as far as printing them out and figuring out what we need and what we have already picked up just a few things for my daughter, but we definitely have not picked up the bulk. So we are going to be getting onto that soon. So I was happy to get some of this cleaning out of the way before I start getting completely sidetracked with all of that. And I'm going to end this video in the same way that I opened it in my laundry room, and I washed those mats, and my son had hung them outside for me on the pool fence, and they dried, and I was able to put them back down. And then we have Ellie here, and since I was talking about fall, I thought I would show you her absolutely adorable collar that I got her after her fresh haircut. It has pumpkins on it and pumpkin pie and a turkey, and it says give thanks, and it is like the cutest thing ever. So my home is not ready for fall, but Ellie's ready for fall. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you guys in the next ones. Please do like and subscribe. I love to have it stay a while. Thanks so much, guys. Ellie says bye.